Hello, Michigan State fans, and welcome to this latest edition of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. I'm your beat reporter for Michigan State Spartans on SI, Aidan Champion. There's not a whole lot going on right now with Michigan State athletics. Um, we had Caleb Glenn, the news of his injury yesterday, and that was obviously devastating for the fan base. So I want to get into something maybe a little more lighthearted. And so I'm gonna I want to get into my top five Michigan State athletic traditions, and these are really more so focused on football and basketball. And I'm sure there's some that'll be left off or ones I'm not thinking of, but I just thought this would be a fun little topic just to discuss and get away from all the other uh, off-season debates and rankings and whatnot. So, without further ado, I will start with I'm going to start with an honorable mention. I had this at number five at first, but thought it should be moved to honorable mention because it's it's a great tradition, just not really um, anything of huge significance, I would say. I'm going with with Sparty planting the flag um, to kick off every f home football game. That obviously that's a fun one. That's one that gets the fans amped up and really sets the tone. Um, it, you know, j just more so a fun one, but it's one where I'm only putting it at an honorable mention. Um, I'm not considering the ranking because it's what, 10 seconds. So nothing of extreme significance, but again, worth noting. So I threw it in honorable mention. But then we'll go to number five, and that's the traditional home game walk for Michigan State coaches and players, where they walk from the Kellogg Center to Spartan Stadium. Such a great tradition. Players all decked out in their suits. Coaches are. They got their shades on. And I will say Jonathan Smith, um, he always looks pretty tough with his suit and his shades. And when you see that team coming, that's regardless of how good they are, it's always a little intimidating. I feel if I were viewing it as an opponent, but that's a really cool one for the fans to be a part of when they can wait outside um, and stand aside and watch as their favorite players come through. Um, just a very cool tradition. I feel there's it's great for unity for the team to um, walk together, and it's I bet as a player, they've got their headphones on and they're locked in. There's got to be a million thoughts racing through their brains, and to be able to collectively walk along with their fellow teammates, their best friends, and share that experience so that they're not gearing up for an important game all alone. I can imagine that would probably ease the tension, ease the nerves a bit, um, because you're marching into battle with your brothers. So I like that tradition a lot. Number four, the Izzone alumni game. That's always such an awesome event held during winter break when students are home. So, the alumni get to come back and fill up the lower bowl, and just awesome to see, you know, all these alums who like Izzo said, last season, gone on to, do great things and come back. And as Izzo said, get to be 20 years old again. Um, act like fools. And um, it's just so cool to see that this place is special enough to them that they want to come back. Not only that, but just leave behind for a couple hours the all the other noise in their lives, whether that be work or family, and just go crazy and support their Spartans. You'll see former players there. The camera pans around to them. You see them on the jumbotron. Um, I think that's just an awesome tradition that is just one of the many testaments to the impact that Michigan State and Michigan State basketball has on its alums. Really cool. Uh, Always really cool to see that. So that one I've got at number 4. And let's see. Number 3 is Midnight Madness. Oh man, isn't that? I mean, because I went to Michigan State and that was such a fun event. Although, um, the actually no, I'm thinking of the camp out. I'll throw camp out and Midnight Madness together. Um, but when I was a student, the only time I went to the camp out, it was rained out, so they had to move it inside. More so on the Midnight Madness side, just always so much fun. The students get to meet their, and fans get to meet their favorite players, and coaches is always doing something fun with the crowd, and I think that's um, really cool experience. Um, and of course, Tom walking out with his crazy costumes and Coach Freilich as well. Um, that's always a fun one to try to wait with eagerness to see what Tom walks out there with. Man, it's been the year I went, he was in a Hulk costume, and that was that was quite bizarre. I've seen little Tom in a big burly Hulk outfit, but um, it's cool to see the fun side come out of the players, when they're doing their dances and whatnot. Um, so that's always really cool gathering. Number 2, um, now that I say it, I might want to flip Midnight Madness. I think I'm gonna put Midnight Madness at number 2. So this one was gonna be number 2, Friday Night Lights. Um, it's not a um decades long tradition, but past since 2011, um, this coming home opener, it's will mark the 13th on Friday night since 2011. Um, Obviously against Western Michigan, but Friday night home openers, I think fans have just grown to fall in love with, and it's no matter who you're playing, it's always a fun way to kick off the season, no matter what the expectations are. Like this season, I mean, I know there's a lot of fans that aren't too hopeful about this coming year, but regardless, I mean, it'll be a packed crowd, and like I said, no matter who you're playing, always a fun one. I would like to see, maybe as if this team gets better and gets back to higher level of prominence, maybe we start seeing some bigger programs come in for uh, for those matchups. but that's just one that fans love, and it was I think they were happy that they were able to extend it this year when they moved it back originally. It was going to be Saturday. So that's become one that has really become a tradition. Um, and as a student, that was it was fun for me. Um, you got class that day. It was usually like I think the first week of class. So you're looking forward to the game all week. As a freshman, um, it's your first game as a student, and um, there's just nothing like when you when you s- when you sit in the stands for the first time as a student, and it's one of the first true um, experiences of going to Michigan State is your first football game. So, um, that was always just a fun day getting ready for that on Friday, having the whole day to look forward to it. Last but not least, number one, the greatest tradition there is in Michigan State athletics is the senior day kissing of the logo. Um, that's just a tradition that was started by basketball that has been moved across other sports, has, you know, always just been such an emotional um, day for Michigan State fans, particularly basketball, where each senior gets down and kisses the Spartan logo and is embraced by the crowd for everything they've accomplished. And it doesn't matter if you were only there a year, like we saw last year with Frankie Fiddler um, and Shimon Sapala. They still were recognized for their hard work that they had done throughout their college career, not just at Michigan State, but just recognized for all their accomplishments. And I think that was really cool, particularly last year. That when you've got two seniors that haven't spent their whole career there, it's cool that fans can still appreciate them and they get the same treatment that a guy like Jay Nakins got, who was there for all 4 years. Um, and it's a tradition that you don't mess with, as Tom Izzo said. Um, but um, but in all seriousness, there's no tradition better than it at Michigan State. It's um, you know, it's always just such a special, special moment for everyone to be a part of, to share in. You see Izzo, who's as tough a coach as he is, he loves his players and gets to give them a hug and share some words and send them off. Um, and it's just there's nothing like it. With all that said, those are my rankings. Let me know what I missed, what shouldn't be on there, what should be on there. What do you think? Would love to know. Again, this was just a fun little activity I thought I'd do to kind of fill some space. But as always, thank you all for tuning in. Always appreciate your engagement. And we will catch you next time. I hope you have a great Friday.